Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepares to die. I was watching that movie, The Princess Bride, earlier today, and it sparked up some memories of my childhood where I didn't give a fuck about all the characters in the whole movie but Andre the Giant. Because I'm a wrestling fan and there's Andre. But I don't know, Andre was, even though he was, how can I say this? I don't know, his heyday was before I was born, but I knew who Andre the Giant was, you know, after seeing old videos of his classic match at WrestleMania 3. They got phlegm in my throat. You hate that shit? You trying to talk and you got blockage of mucus like down your throat. It's pretty disgusting, but it's life. You're human. You're always going to have buggers up in your throat and shit restricting you from talking. Anyway... Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was watching some movies on my Fire Stick, and just I saw a whole bunch of movies from my childhood, man. If only I can bring this up. Right now, I'm on my PS4, and I'm watching YouTube, and the only thing I can't stop watching is suit interviews of like wrestlers that's been in the business, and they're explaining their heyday of the impact they made in the business. Like, I've been watching a lot of New Jack interviews, which I'm friends with him on Facebook, and sometimes I don't know, like, I need a spit. Like before, he used to do live shows on his Facebook. And, you know, I like wrestlers like that. You know, they be having stories for days. That's why I always watch the old timers of wrestling when they do shoot interviews, because they got stories behind the myth. You know what I'm saying? They always have stories. So I've been watching a lot of New Jack suit interviews and Abdullah the Butchers and Tony Atlas. I think Tony Atlas is like my favorite because he got his stories is funny, and also he don't realize it, or maybe he do, that he is very smart individual, because like the way that he's conveyed the scenery of his stories is like articulate, you know, and I can understand it. But that's what I've been doing. Been on YouTube watching shoot interviews of wrestlers, and I watched The Princess Bride I watched The Princess Bride on my Fire Stick, which is always an awesome movie. It doesn't matter if it was released in 1985. I think it was in 85 or 88. I'm not sure. It was in the 80s. It was released. But I then also thinking about the topic of this video, where I was looking over at my little bookshelf. I got, you know, that's where I keep my video games, you know, at least my physical copies. And I saw this game called Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was a pretty interesting and fun video game for me to buy and play. Actually, you know, it was one of the games that I bought with my PS4. And I noticed when it released, a lot of people shitted on Watch Dogs, basically of its aesthetics, how the visuals was what we saw at E3. But I kind of noticed why they did it, and you know, I think it's been pretty much been explained before, how they dumbed down the visuals so it would keep up with the processing power of either the Xbox or the PS4, because it was multi-console based platform when it came out. I think it came out for the PS4 and the Xbox, you know, so it was a multi-platform game. They dumbed down the visuals so it could run smoothly while you was playing on the consoles. But I always did like Watch Dogs. You know, when I play a game, I don't have a critic mindset. I see the game for what it is. I like the innovations of how you got stuff. Like, you know, you was be able to hack anything, a traffic light, a billboard, others people's phones, and you know, back in your mind, you always want to like pretend if you would do that in real life. I swear, I've been having some thoughts. I'm like, I have my phone with like a app that I made or whatever. I know how to code, but I don't want to, because it's tedious to code, especially in C++. But you used to be hacking people's identities and shit. Well, not their identities, but their bank account, and then if they got money, transfer their money into my account, then I have money. You know, that's awesome. You know what? Let me tell you a story. Well, it's not really a story. My dream is to be a technopath. talk to electronic devices and stuff. That'd be so awesome. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Anyway, but like the only thing I did not like was the ability to drive cars. Bikes was okay. The mechanics on riding a motorcycle, you know, the whole movement was fine. I favored the motorcycles than the car. When you drive a car in Watch Dogs, then it's pretty loosey-goosey. It's like all over the place. I think that's one of the main things why people didn't like the game was the driving mechanics. But if you rode a bike like a motorcycle, then you was fine. But while you was riding the bikes, if you was in a police chase and I think if they ram you off the road, you get ragdolled off the bike and then you fly off and hit the ground and either you die or you become severely damaged. That was the thing where a lot of people hate it. And then there was like little glitches here and there or whatever. You know, I had my share of Watch Dog glitches. You know, then Watch Dogs 2 came out. Ubisoft didn't even they fixed the car mechanics a little bit, but it was still sliding off the road. But that's a different video for a different day. But the first Watch Dogs was awesome. They had a real good story. I really wanted Aiden Pierce to be a little bit more human, should I say? Even though he talked like a robot, like with no emotion, I wish his approach and his character was a little bit lively, if that was a word. But yeah, I wish his character had a little bit more life to it, you know, a little bit more energy. Man, the driving mechanics, if you drive a car, was like, you be able to swerve all the time when you ride a car. It's like you like you hit a turn too hard, otherwise you be swerving out of nowhere, and you have to like maintain your car from not swerving. That's the thing that got me. And then I was on overall, like all the music that I've heard in the game, in-game music on the radio station, it was subpar. But there was one song, I think it was it was a song by the Cool Kids. It was a rap song, and it started off with the bass line, whatever. But UGK provided the first verse of the song. It was a cool song. It was so cool that I traced it on YouTube and I saved that video in my favorites. And you know, if I want to listen to the song, I always go back and listen to it. But yeah, that's the one thing I liked. Was that song, how you hack into stuff, everything, you know. I like the story. I wish that Aiden Pierce had a little bit more life in his character, but I think Ubisoft made it towards where we have the new protagonist in Watch Dogs 2. I forget his name. I haven't played that game since the DLCs. That was like several weeks ago. Man, but we got a more livelier a protagonist in Watch Dogs 2, which I appreciate. But the graphics were still good, even though they downgraded it a little bit. But if you play that shit in PC, I think you will become like, oh, this is so refreshing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it made you happier if you would play on PC to up the graphics a little bit, to the point where you saw when they first showed the actual trailer at E3 several years ago. So that's all I have to say about this. This is Dre James, and this is a Xspendable potential video on Watch Dogs. You can catch me on iTunes, give me a thumbs up button, and also hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. Peace out. Hello, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I got many more channels to do right here on the channel. IRL, in real life, right there, bitch. Next channel, bam, gaming channel. I post these whenever, but usually I stream here. YouTube gaming, bitches. New channel, commentator, mini podcast, right here. Xspendable potential, right here. Hit that like button, hit the gang. Notification bell, notification gang, up this so you never miss another video. I'm crazy as shit.